Big win for Lauderdale today, 120-point victory. Probably pretty close to what you set to achieve when you came out here today.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, with the next few weeks going forward, we're going to be playing finals, so we wanted to look after our sort of brand of football. We knew if we played a good style today and looked after that, then we would be able to produce a good score. And I thought in the second half particularly we were really good with that. Shared the ball around and had multiple goal kickers, which was good.
Yeah, I thought you, especially in the second half, really used the size advantage that you guys have over North Hobart. Well, controlled the air much better than in the first.
Yeah, we had a couple of matchups down there. Obviously, Thor and Jacob Gilby are really good with their body, and you can only play on who you play on. And they had a couple of small, young guys down there that are developing, and I think you got a couple of mismatches down there. So those guys are experienced and used their body, and ended up getting on the scoreboard, which was nice.
Yeah, especially those guys had exceptional games. Gilby getting 7, Thor getting 5. They had influence everywhere as well. It was pretty good to see the forward group play so well leading into finals where you're going to be going against some pretty strong teams.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Those guys obviously got on the end of a fair bit, but it was probably the work up the ground with our midfielders. Hayden Smith, particularly in the ruck, gave our mids first use and sort of were pretty predictable getting it in there and could get our small forwards to the right spot as well. So I thought those guys competed really well, but then our pressure from a couple of the Indigenous boys and other guys down there was super as well.
Yeah, in the first half, did you think the defensive pressure was quite there? North Hobart seemed to be able to get over the top of you at times.
Yeah, I think we sort of, were focusing on a few things, and I think we got caught just coming up the ground a bit too far with our defence, not getting the right starting positions and so forth, and we got a bit found out on the jump when they sort of ran out of defence without that sort of frontal pressure, and we got burnt going the other way a couple of times. But I thought we rectified that in the second half, and it probably showed that it was played in our forward 50 probably 80% of the time after that.
Yeah, next week obviously coming back down here you are down here to North Launceston and coming down here to play you guys. It's a big game for the club leading into finals. Yeah, certainly. Obviously to play against the benchmark at the moment, going into finals is definitely going to be a good dress rehearsal for us, so we'll throw 100% at that, and obviously keep working on these things going forward, and if we can start playing really good football, then that's going to hold us in good stead going into the finals. Bear, your immediate thoughts on the contest? You fought hard all day, but they really got you in that second half.
Yeah, to be honest, we probably ran out of tickets 3 weeks ago. It's been a big year emotionally and physically for the group, so when a team gets on top of you, particularly after quarter time, it's hard to work both ways, and obviously the end result probably reflected our efforts in the last half. So disappointing way to finish, but as I said the other day, as a club we're still here, which there were doubters out there that said we wouldn't be, so we're proud of that, but we also know we've got a lot of hard work to do.
Yeah, I thought you competed really well across the ground, but they certainly just had you for size in the back half.
It's tough when they a lot of their inside 50s are one-on-one, and it's pretty hard to compete against guys that are physically much bigger, so we've got a lot of work to do, but we're willing to work hard as a group, and we'll see a better Demons outfit next year.
Yeah, you did get through them at times in that first half. You played some really competitive footy, which you must have been pleased with.
Yeah, when you see little signs that when the ball can move from one end to the other without the opposition touching it, you can see that the future's bright. But as I've said, particularly the last few weeks, we've got a lot of work to do, but we are willing as a coaching group and as a club in general to keep working hard to ensure that we are competitive next year.
Yeah, reflecting on the year as a whole, it's obviously been a hugely challenging year for the club, but one that you'll no doubt take a lot out of.
I said to Huey Williams after the game, I said, we've got through it and we're never going to experience a year like this ever again. I mean, in essence, we started a new club. The time Kane finished up last November and the board finishes, so you've missed all that opportunity to recruit, retain. In terms of you get to November and you usually have your pre-season program already mapped out, your coaching staff all organised, and your recruits are all coming in. We had nothing. We couldn't even have any apparel to train, so we're all training in different gear. So we've already planned our pre-season out. We've started on November the 12th, and we're really excited about what our pre-season will hold, and we're really looking forward to just cracking in. And I know it's August now, but we can't wait to kick off the season next year.
Yeah, you must be hugely excited by the potential the play group has, especially with, as mentioned, a few recruiting things on the block.
Yeah, I mean, but I also said to the young guys, particularly after the game, talent only gets you so far, and they've got a hell of a lot of work to do as well, which we all have. But obviously topping up with Garland, having him full time, there's a few other irons in the fire with a few ex-AFL players that are pretty keen to come on board. So yeah, we are very excited, and I'm sure there'll be some exciting announcements in the next few weeks. So yeah, we're looking forward to that.